No, seriously, I mean, not throwing daggers at you or nothing, I'm just saying, I thought about it, but I didn't. But anyhow,
You asked for it. Now I'm under the bus.
And he's been sick. He's been sick.
he's been so, yes, thank the Lord he's here today. He's had a rough week this week. He sent these pictures to me twice, and I've tried to do them in order, and so I have to put them up in the Google Drive. And then as they upload to Google Drive, then I try to pull them over to the desktop, and then I was trying to put them in a PowerPoint to get that. And so, so I thought, well, let me just put them in a folder. Well, not everything that I thought was transferred over there is there. And so, and then I was trying to, and then it loads it how it wants them, not how you want them. And I thought, we'll just deal with it. So anyway, we'll get to that in just a minute.
Well, you
Lord
need to
will.
go back to school.
I'll be there this week for just a few hours. But it won't be on media. It won't be a media training or nothing. I handed this out to you for you to take and have with you if you want. This was on one of the slides that we had during the Seder day that we observed the Seder meal. This is, now, we all have lived and grown up that Jesus died on Friday and he arose on Sunday. Okay, I am well within that track. But when I ran across this, it made me think, is there a different way of looking at it? So if you don't like it, you don't want to even think about it, then do whatever you want to with it. Throw it away. But just for your mind to think and observe and let you do your own research. This was a guy that, there's a website called, I think it's talking about teaching Torah. And so this is something he put together. And so, and it has it kind of makes sense to me. But there again, that's not a issue that I'm going to stand in the corner and argue with somebody, oh, this is it. And there's just so many things that that I think we run into, and the time that we would need in this class to plow through that is just not, we don't have enough. But anyway, now I remember showing it to you. Have you thought anything about it since then? I appreciate an honest answer. I appreciate that. I saw Sandy shaking her head. Have you?
I've thought about it.
Okay.
I don't know what to make of it, but I thought about it.
Yeah, I thought about it too, and I think that this fits kind of what you have to believe to make it fit. This Jesus, it looks like that they're arresting him on the 9th hour of the day, of the evening.
Well, it's in the black there, which is showing, I thought that meant that's still night,
Yeah,
considered the
9
night.
o'clock at night is what I'm saying. That it seems that's what it looks like.
Well, their night is our morning.
But that's when he was kept in the prison during that period.
Well,
From the time he was arrested until the morning, or whenever they pulled him out and all this took place, the meeting, the king and.
there's a lot of movement. It makes you wonder, how do you get all that done? Because when I'm reading, watching all this, how in the world did they move him?
That's 7 hours, looks like. If you're saying 6 a.m. is, well, it looks like 5
7.
a.m. is when they got him out of there, according to that chart. But
Yeah.
there's an awful lot going, it's just like they had to go bang, bang, bang to get it done.
Max Lucado's got a book, 6 Hours One Friday. I don't know if you've ever read that, but it tells all the things in order. It's 6 Hours One Friday.
I wonder how it connects with this.
All I can say is if you stick with the Friday thing, you can just throw this away and not worry about it no more.
You know what?
Makes life so much easier.
I'm just glad, I don't care when he died. I'm just glad he rose
Yes, thank you, Lord.
and he's waiting on us. But you can argue all you want when he did, when he didn't. The end result is he did rise and he's waiting on us.
Yeah.
And he accomplished what he set out to do.
Yeah.
He accomplished.
Well, yes, absolutely, and that is the most important. That is the most important. I agree with you 100%, Sharon. The person who put this together, he put together the things that Jews would observe, and that's how he developed this timeline. There's things that we miss on this end of things, and that's okay. That's all right. But if you go to Teaching the Torah or just look for it online, I think you can. He's got several teachings there that he'll show. Oh, and you know the video I wanted to show you that wouldn't show up? We got home, and I done a search. There it was, in the same place. And I did not lose my temper.
You do need to go back to school.
I did
So
not
mine
lose
will come up this afternoon when you get home, right?
Yes, it is.
His stuff.
I want to do something.
And so, and you saw you saw on the screen the same thing I saw, that it wasn't available. So, what'd you say?
No, I just wonder if there's something that's blocking, when you're connected to this network, if they've got some kind of filters or blocks.
It's that little gremlin that the Air Force, the military used to talk about back in that gremlin. You gotta watch out for that gremlin. He's gonna be working against you. And so, anyway, yes, I pulled it up and there it was. So if you go Teaching the Torah, look that up, do a search on it, you should be able to find it. And, but anyway, if you care to pursue that any further.
Y'all had shown enough and y'all talked enough that
Yeah, you did.
I appreciated what you said and understood.
Well, thank you, I
think.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
I told my kids how wonderful it was. So
Well, thank you.
you did a great
We
job.
both went home going, well, that just didn't go well.
Yeah, I think it did.
We told a lot of people about.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think it did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was very pleased.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Bare knuckles education for me. I
It was me
enjoyed
too.
it.
It was all new to me.
Yeah. Well, I knew about these things and just never had participated or done it. And Tanya had, 5 years in Hickson in a public school. She taught Bible history. Is correct? Okay. And so she had a lot of the stuff that's been packed away. And so I asked her, I said, can we do something? She disappears in the attic for a while. And then all of a sudden, here she comes. Oh, I got something. So anyway. Thank you for tolerating just new stuff. I think there's something there to think about that we should consider and compare. We should take time to challenge what we think we know. Sometimes some things are clear, some things are not so clear. But anyway, the pictures, the little tiles I have up there. We had hoped to have this I had hoped to have it in a lot better order. But Rick and Steve and a number of others went down to the Bahamas and worked on installing some HVAC down there. That's just tremendous that they could go down there and do this. I like this picture right here. Look at that. That's a elbow or T. Is that a T?
T.
That's a big piece of ductwork, and you're trying to now. Did they? I see. Did they crimp those edges on there? Didn't they?
Yeah, they roll edges on them, then they rivet a lot of it. But this right here is 38. You can see when we come off the wall up there, and that's a 38-inch duct. And see, we're fixing. And we have to hoist that up with 2 pulleys and a rope hung it on the purlins up there, beams. And we pulled it up. You can see we're getting ready to pull that up and put it in place. And then this comes on out here, and then we had to keep it below that purlin coming across through there so it would go down through there. Am I interrupted? Can you?
No.
And I just wanted to convey the magnitude, the size of this right here. And this end down here was more difficult because Bishop wanted it to follow the contour of the ceiling. And so see how it's following the contour of the ceiling, and Norm had a laser and we put it right in the middle of the building, and you can tell we got it cut and put in the middle of the thing, so because he wants to put a screen like a gable screen back there in the back. And we had to take and work. There was 4 pieces of the duct that didn't get to go on the shipping container. But the Lord provided, and I'll say this real quick, that I prayed, me and Steve prayed and prayed that we would not forget the first screw, nut, bolt, or anything. And we had unistrut left over, all thread left over, nuts and bolts, drill bits, everything that we needed left over. And we took 6 of the best. Everybody had some form of trade, so it wasn't, they didn't do heating and air. And this is the first biggest job me and Steve's ever done like this, you know, so it just, and this lady right here, she cooked for us at lunch. She was 58 years old on the Thursday we were down there, and she fed us cake and pork chops and everything else, and she didn't drive.
She
Her
kissed
brother.
me on the cheek and I got brown sugar.
But what I wanted to convey, and we can't do it because we don't have the video. First of all, me and Steve had kind of, more me probably than Steve, prayed a fleece back at some time that I'd like kind of do some mission work again, because we hadn't flown since May of 2018. And then Dad passed away in June, so we refused to take care of Mom. Well, the thing that how God worked, because he knew this is the only way Steve and I do it. Phil had talked to me about, when in November, some stuff down there, but it's already January. And Phil Thompson came to me, which is the director. You can see the size of this laid out to where we could start getting our tees and everything. But he come to us, and he didn't ask us if we wanted to go. He said, January 21st or January 26th, you pick a date. And so we went down there on January 26th, and this building was just raw. Steve I had a video to show you a panoramic view, that this floor was just concrete, I mean, hole down the centers, everything. This is where we had to start and level out the duct, because the duct came up at an angle, and I had to keep the bottom of it straight. We did. And so, but anyway, to let you see, from January 26th to March 25th, how this all, and they went, the crew before us went down there and built all these rooms back here, the stage thing, the hole down the center where the trough is filled in. They built stages, everything. We got ductwork in it. And see, that's the first where we started down there, where it comes off of the unit right here. And then this is our first tee. And Steve and I had measured 30 foot, marked it on the road, the thing. And we could only go to that far at this point until we could start down there to make sure the duct worked. So we needed to cut lengths and things like that.
Where's your cold air return?
Right here.
That's big enough?
No, but it's what they have. You know, I mean, honestly, it's not.
They got fresh air that's coming in.
Yeah, they.
From outside.
Yeah, they mix fresh air with it and stuff, which is, I mean, but you can see them. And without this right here, Steve took and built this cradle across it right here, that we were able to roll these pieces of duct up in it and lift it up. And these are all hangers. We used eye bolts and stuff to hang it up, and cable, with cable straps. And then unistrut started over here to hang this fitting. Now, like I said, this fitting's as tall as those other fittings and stuff, but it worked out. I mean, it couldn't have worked any better. And we had to take, and you can see where the duct comes out the wall. See, all this stage was built 2 weeks before we got there. And
I'm sorry I didn't, the stuff is not in there, Rick. That's I'd hoped.
And that's where we started coming up with this other end, because we couldn't go with it till we found out the pieces that we wanted here to go back to the other end and stuff.
Did you have that takeoff coming this way? That goes over the congregation, doesn't it?
That's correct. This is the stage, which is the
How
back of the
far,
building.
how far does that?
This will come back, it was supposed to be 40 foot, probably ended up 36 or so because we was some duct. This one, and then there should be another picture when it comes back down. Right here on the end, another L coming down, and it come down 36, 38 feet. The other was 40 foot both ways on the other big T we did. And, but we took and.
Oh, I see it there. That's
See the L that turned and come down through here. That L is about that tall. And, but we went ahead on this, but what I was, we had to buy, because the container hadn't got to the port, and we were going to ship out on Sunday morning, and I appreciate everybody's prayers. We were going to leave and buy 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, Saturday night, the container, we still hadn't had no word in it. And I already told the guys at 6 o'clock that night, we're gonna call it, you know, because we had the insurance that we could go another time, but we were crunched for time. We had to have this in because they had their meeting. And lo and behold, the bishop called at 9 o'clock and said it was there. And we got down there on Sunday, and God knew we needed to relax. Monday, the container was not there, so we took and went over to Paradise Island, built around, and it got there, and I told the guys, I said, God knows we all been busy, we need some rest. And it got there at noontime on Tuesday. And we started noontime on Tuesday, unloading the stuff, Steve and David started cutting the ends off and everything. We started laying out the duct and all this stuff. And with the Lord's help and the grace, by 5:30 on Friday afternoon, it was complete. Every nut, bolt, screw, and everything in there was complete. And so we got to go eat 2 times at a Twin Brothers. But this is the last T down through here. You can see where it reduces, and that goes to the bathrooms and everything. And even, it doesn't mean here that you can see a better view of the cable locking system and stuff, but even how God worked it, come Thursday night at 9:30, Norm says, I'm ready to go, you know, and stuff, and we lacked one piece of duct. But now, 5 o'clock that morning, I said, thank you, Lord, because He allowed us to not hang that piece of duct. Don't mean
Go that way.
dancing muppets. He was a comedian. He was comedian. But
I'd be on that
we
page.
took and that next morning He allowed us to take and cut the holes and stuff. Probably saved us an hour and a half because, just by not hanging that one piece of duct to finish over to the
That
bathrooms and
shows
stuff.
right there where we would get the duct and slide it between those 2x4s, and we could slide it in, and we wouldn't have to worry about balancing it because it was pretty well level at that particular time, and it made it a lot easier to connect it up.
Well, doing construction, dealing with duct work, and I've had my share of that, not like this. Did you drop any pieces?
Nope.
Did anybody get cut?
No,
Wow.
no,
That's something.
no. I mean, I'm telling you,
I got
it's hard.
pinched.
Wait a minute, by that girl or by that?
You're smiling.
She was a darn good cook.
Worth the pinch. But people, you just have to look at everything, just like this lift right here. People couldn't, you just didn't imagine, because the budget was really tight. And it just happened, Steve and I just happened to roll up at Men and Women's Action, and they had brought a lift over there for $3,500, and it's just a single man lift. And I said, Phil, this is not gonna work. I said, it's just not gonna work. So happens the owner of the company still was there, and we told him, this is not, we have to have a scissors lift. It must make it work. And he says, I've got one that's not painted, and it's this, and it works good and everything for $300 more. I says, we don't care if it does, no paint on it at all. And that was the biggest blessing right there, right, one of them. Besides the other, but that's how God worked, that quick.
And it worked flawlessly.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I could show you on my hand places, both hands, working with ductwork for years of crawling under houses and making transitions, cutting, doing whatever. I got all kinds of marks on my hands from doing that work, and that's the reason that it was in my head. Nobody got cut. You didn't
and I
drop
tell you,
in?
the only thing that I sent out to get, and this is going to be crazy, but 2 4-inch putty knives. And the putty knives, David and Steve worked them around the duct to get it to slide up on each other, because if you never put round pipe or anything together, even if it's a small pipe, it's hard to get it, and unless it's crimped really good, especially 28, 38-inch pipe. It took these putty knives and worked it around there. And when it'd slide up on there, it'd slide, because it's only an 1/8 inch, the 1/8 inch tolerance on them. And so it slid up on it and everything, but it really worked good.
Once you slid it in, what, you riveted it?
No, we drilled. We had
Bit
5/16 bit tip screws. And then Norm or whoever's up there, we put a 4-foot, this is the piece I told you that we waited till next morning to cut those holes in, takeoffs and everything, so we could run the rounds over to the bathrooms and everything. But we put a level on it, or if it was like an
that hard
L,
duct at one of the bathrooms or flex duct?
we run hard pipe over top of the walls, and then flex to the, then I put a 10 to 2/8 wise on both of them and put flex over to the takeoffs and everything.
Side grinder guy, I like him.
Yeah, he's a pipeline welder, that's what he does for a living, he does, and this little old gadget right here, he brought down, I know that means nothing, but he can get top dead center, it's got a level on it, and then him and Steve adjusted that when because I wanted the takeoffs to come out at 4 and 8 o'clock, if you're looking at a dial, 4. And Steve and them adjusted that, and every one of them, it didn't matter what size pipe it was, they were every one even down through there.
Nice.
And we cut by 10 or 10:30, we had all this pipe done, and then it started cutting the takeoffs in it. And the pastor asked me, he says, "Do we not going to put takeoffs in? I mean, did you not bring takeoffs?" I said, "They were $5,000. He said,
Grills.
"What? Huh? The grills for the sides of the holes in the
Yeah,
side of
cause
the
you
duct.
noticed the ductwork there's no holes in the side of it.
No.
So y'all had to cut them in, right?
We cut every one of those in, because and so we took but we didn't take grills to put in. Like I said, they were $5,000, and I figured he could wait.
That's looking over the bathroom.
Right. And see, this is the takeoff I was telling you, 10 to 2/8 wise and stuff. Taking that fancy platform apart that we made.
Oh, there's brown sugar again.
This is what I want you to see, is we took one of the end caps, the very last end cap, we all signed it. Some put me and Wim Action, and some put some scriptures in it and everything, and nobody can see it, but we put that up into the end of the duct.
I like it.
So in 50 years, when they tear it down, they can see that what the date that this is all installed. But,
Y'all cutting the holes right there, aren't you?
yeah. What I hope to have is, y'all can send this around, and this is what transpired on, like the 26th, 2 months later, when they were having their meeting and everything.
Let me ask you this, Rick.
And it was all, you can see it's all painted.
Everything's painted black now.
They sprayed urethane foam on it before, when we was going to the airport, they were just spraying. And now all this ceiling's been seared, some of the urethane, but it's all been painted black. They had the carpet down, I guess the floor down, they took and painted it, and then put all their chairs and had their service that Wednesday night, started on Wednesday night.
That's what we need.
Yeah. But what? This is the video. No, it ain't.
I'm just thankful that the Lord, give you the success that you did.
I'm thankful for everybody's prayers, because without prayers, this wouldn't have happened. I can tell you, Nick's been to too many mission trips. He knows it. It's a right number of people, and that's like I told him. The reason there was 6 of us, because the van that took us around told 7 people, driver and 6 of us. It's the same way when me and Britt, Steve, and Nick, and Hugh, and all of us went to Brazil. I couldn't understand why there was just 7 of us going. It just blew my mind. And this time I didn't worry about it. I knew God, because we started out 10 or 12 people, and I knew they just kept falling out, and I knew that God was going to send the people. When we got down there, it was a Volkswagen bus.
It happens so often.
And all it could fit in it was 7 of us, and Hugh took up 2 of us, and the driver and the interpreter, And so, but to see that this transformed, all these doors was put up, everything, these walls, in 2 months.
And they were putting the
That's
garage
great.
door in, and the walls were poured full of concrete. They jackhammered for 2 days straight. You couldn't hear yourself think.
You were asking a question, Nick, what'd you do?
No, I was just, I don't know how many trips I've been on where it was just enough,
Exactly.
just enough. And if you remember, I think it was Bolivia, Frances Wilson.
Yeah.
We were feeding those people, and she said, we can't possibly feed this many people, give this many people. But when we finished, she had fed them all. It just,
And God multiplied what we had.
It's just the same thing I said when
Only-
Phil and us was coming back on the flight on the plane. I says, because Phil had promised, I mean, he's put himself on the line to get this going by that March. So I says, you need $500,000 in 6 months. And it didn't take $500,000, and it did take 6 months, 2 months. These people were worshiping the Lord.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Bishop
great.
Smith was one of the hardest working bishops I've ever seen. I mean, he would be there till 12 o'clock at night. I've never seen a man work so hard.
If you get to go, whether it's vacation, whatever you go to get to Nassau, contact us and we'll get you with, you need to go by this facilities. I mean, it's just amazing.
I'm like Nick there on that return. Will you have any, issues with the function of the with the
Like
unit?
Steve said, we've got,
I know you got fresh air, so.
it'll be enough to compensate for it. It's not gonna filter it great and everything, but to try to get, it's worked like this, and that's what everybody says, well, it's worked like this for 30 years, or 20 years, or 10 years. To convince them to do it any different, it's just and the money to do it, just like I'm talking about the grills. The grills would have been nice, but it's not something that has to be there. Once they painted the duck, you really didn't even, those people are not gonna look up there and see what kind of grills is when they're worshiping.
Will it not having enough air return, will that cause condensation?
You're going, not necessarily on the duck, it's gonna cause the unit possibly to freeze up and some stuff, but, it's, like I said, these has been installed for 3 or 4 years. We didn't install the units. Units has been there for about 4 years. And so, all we did is put supply duct on it and stuff, and so.
We checked the filters and the coils and everything. They
Coils were
good.
clean and different stuff, but the
I
duck,
was thinking about the duck.
the duck will do some sweating.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not because of the returns or anything, it's just for the fact that it's gonna be some humidity in the building.
But if you had got insulated pipe, it would have been about 3 or 4 times the cost.
Well, that big pipe right there would have cost a lot of
He said
money.
that they were outside
Yes,
of
ma'am.
air conditioning.
So I don't think it feels the way we used
Oh.
The
to.
return should
But
have
it
been
can
double
get
that
hot,
size.
because it's in a tropical place.
Was part of a job one time where we put ductwork over a newspaper printing in a town. And the boss wanted to save money going over top of where the paper's running, and we had to run duct over top of it, and he wanted to save money and not insulate certain pieces. And I remember thinking, I thought, over top of that paper running, that's not a good idea. And sure enough, we got called in the middle of the night. We need to get over there. They're running the Saturday paper or Sunday paper, and while that paper's running, that water would drip across it, and that paper would tear apart. It would be a mess. And so, I couldn't do it, you wouldn't do it, but I really wanted to take a black marker and write on the bottom of it, I told you so.
Well, you could do, how about the Five Oaks restaurant, I don't know if you've been in the big old bar in Five Oaks in Pigeon Forge. If you'll go over next to the bathroom, they have a spiral duct in it, they got a trough running out through there under that.
To catch it.
With a 3/4 PVC pipe catch in that building, so, it's just, they only use this building, the primary this is their money maker. And what they have, high school graduations, funerals, all this stuff, and they rent it out to fund the other churches of the islands. So this is their money making to support all their other churches.
So they've had units sitting there for 4 years, had the building
They've been running.
Have they been using the building like the way it was?
Yeah, it's in November, Norm and them and all them went down there and tore the old roof off. It just been, I didn't see it, couldn't see it, but some of the purlins were rotten from where the roof had leaked and everything, and we even took, and Steve and I, we expanded a piece of unistrut across one of them so we could support our duct.
And where the roof had leaked, it had a suspended ceiling in it, and it had that rectangular duct with drops coming off of it. And where the roof had leaked, it had ruined all that, so they tore all that out. And that's why it had to be generated back with the new ductwork.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Rick. Once again, I do apologize that it was not in the order you wanted it in. I told you that. I put it on notice yesterday. It wasn't gonna plan out, and so, but if I can get some of the other pictures that you were looking for, I'll do my best to try to get them.
Yeah, what I want, my biggest thing is, Steve and I, was just to convey to you how God did it in 2 months. If you'd seen the first picture when we went down there and sand in the floor, they were stuck on the walls, the windows weren't all in, the doors were, none of this stuff, and then in 2 months, it all came together. And if that's not God, you just explain to me. I'd like to hear your story.
It's kind of like, I think about when Nehemiah went to work, and he was trying to get the people together, and there was a statement that was said in there. It says, the people had a mind to work.
Yeah.
And I believe that God can do a lot of things when he touches people's hearts, and they have a mind to work. There's a lot that can get done in a short amount of time.
Nobody's too old to go on it don't have to be out of the country, but some form of mission project. It doesn't have to be, what do you say, just help somebody to do something, some things. People needs to take it, you feel so much better, just like the people when we go on mission trips, they says, well, you had to make them people feel, really do with them people good. And I said, you know who it did good? It's me, it's who it did good. I says, and they'd ask, our kid, us, they said, don't you feel sorry for them? I says, no. I said, I'm not being cold. I said, I feel sorry for our kids and our people because you don't miss anything you don't have.
Exactly.
And, you need to, and it gives you, some of the biggest, I loved when we used to take our kids to Juarez, Mexico. They'd sit down there and cry on the roofs and stuff like that, and real, she said, I just didn't know it was this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I miss that part, is taking kids.
That's where Sandy learned to eat chitlins.
What's that?
That's what Tanya would have learned fast.
So you learn fast.
But I like.
It does, and it's a great impact when you go to places and you see how other people live. And it makes you think about the money, the things that we buy sometimes as frivolous things, that they would use that money just to live, not to have a knick-knack sitting on a shelf somewhere. And
I'll tell you a story. You talk about that. We were in Moscow, Russia, and everybody. You talking about done when I went to Moscow, Russia? Because I thought when I stepped off that plane, I just stepped off into another United States. It was not that way at all. She was a colonel. She was very well educated, colonel in the military. She was either a biophysicist or a biochemist. And Larry, we got her to take us a bus tour around the Kremlin, the Goom, the whole, and we stopped at McDonald's. And she said, order me whatever you want to order. So he ordered her Big Mac and fries. And she said, how do I eat this? He says, what do you mean? She says, I've never had this before. My grandmother said this is very wasteful of money. We can eat for an entire week for what this one sandwich cost.
yeah.
And she's very well educated. She was, wasn't that, and her dad was, she's biochemist and biophysicist. He was opposite, so it wasn't that their family wasn't educated.
Hugh and I took Sergey and his wife to a restaurant. First time they'd ever been to one in their life. Didn't know what to do.
Steve and I, these two girls, they allowed us to take them. We made a deal that if we could take and go tour the Kremlin, the Goom, the armory and stuff like that we would, these two girls, because they could interpret and everything. Now, when I say drinks, I'm talking about not alcoholic, because I don't do that. But we took just the drinks that were little, about that big around, about that high. And this has been, 25 years ago, 25? We spent $70 just on drinks. Every drink was like $4 or $5.
Wow.
But see, they could make a couple $100 a day by interpreter, and it was doing us a favor by us being allowed to take and buy them a meal and us go to the places.
Well, thank you guys for sharing. Hope you have a good week this week. We had prayer at the beginning, and so did you have a?
Did y'all wanna?
I got one announcement.
Yeah.
It's a birthday boy today.
Happy birthday!
I need to put that on my calendar.
Happy birthday to
He's
you.
still younger than me.
Huh?
He's still younger than me.
It doesn't change.
It's
all right.
Roll around again.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Tim.
Thank you very, very much. It's been a pretty good year.
Good.
You look happy.
I'm very happy.
You
Good.
look
Looks
happy.
healthy.
Yes.
I have to
Yes.
stop sometimes to go, pinch my, what's going on? What's going on?
Good, good. That's
Well,
wonderful.
My brain hadn't made the memory contacts yet, so.
It will.
It's getting better.
It will.
Well, those things will stop firing, I'm just gonna tell you.
Things I should know, I don't know sometimes, and it's really embarrassing, but it's gonna be a great day. I get to see my mom. My mom invited me over for lunch today, so
Yay.
That'd be great.
And your
That's
dad is doing better?
He's home and he's doing well.
Good.
Physical therapy's doing him well. But it might have been a mental plus for him to see life care, to see ICU, to see cardiology in the hospital.
Physical therapy.
Because he wouldn't move at all. He wouldn't
So I
do
think
it.
he's gonna try hard.
So he had his golf cart out the other day and he's kicking the leg.
Trying to make it go?
No, he was driving it, and he'd take his leg and put it on the ground. He was pushing it.
His dad's a trip.
My dad's insane. Anyway, I can't wait to see him today. I'm excited.
Good.
It's been like that for a month, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm just bubbly.
Go down the front road, pastor would love to have you down there.
I about danced to the guy in the purple last week. I was over there.
And I missed him.
Huh?
I missed the
He was
dance.
right under the boom over there.
I missed him. Everybody at my house was talking about it. I don't know what I was, I don't know if I had my eyes shut.